Hello, Math 126 fans, former students, and maybe students to be. I'm Dr. Andy Lovelace, longtime instructor at the University of Washington. I'm trying to put together a little short series to help students prepare for our exams. I'm excited for this one. I've taught Math 126 so many times that I have so many materials that I'm excited to share. Lots of visuals. I do hope that you'll advertise to your friends to take my course. I'm teaching Math 126 in spring 2025, and I will be teaching section C and D. But more notably, I'm teaching it for the summer for the first time ever. I'm going to do it kind of in a remote format, so people could take my course from anywhere. So if you want to take Calculus 3 from me this summer, just sign up. That's one way you could help me, is advertise to your friends, because the summer is the first time ever where it even matters how many students take my class. It's never mattered before. And I have a lot of stuff and visuals to share. But for now, I just want to review this. I'm going to try, I don't know that I can do it all tonight, but I'm going to try to review all of the key things for the second exam. Along the way, I hope to show you some visuals. I'm going to pull from my old exams, but I'm going to hit these topics. This is going to be a short video, but I thought I should include it because this is something I know students ask about, is general 3D function stuff. Okay, so I'll do just a couple short questions there. Then I'll talk about partial derivatives and tangent planes. That's one of the main techniques and tools in this section. And then I'll talk about critical points and local max and min. I was going to include global max and min in that, but I think that deserves its own attention. I have a certain approach to that. I think everyone can do that, but because it's kind of quite a few steps, people get kind of lost. So I'm going to give you my method for how to approach those and get a lot of points on them. Anyways, then I'll do double integrals. Part of that is polar regions, but I'm just going to separate it into smaller chunks. And what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to pull up my exam archive. Let's make my face a little smaller here. So if you do a Google search for Andy Lovelace, go to Calculus 3 materials. I'm going to be working from here. And I think I've pulled almost all my examples from my 3 most recent exams here. So if you want to see full solutions, because there will be times where I'll have to make a decision to just talk about the idea. Okay, so if you want a more full discussion, it's there. I'm trying to be minimal with time, but still hit the main topics. As always, talk to your instructor about what they're going to emphasize on the test. But anyways, the other thing I wanted to note here, and for those of you watching this in winter 2025, I am doing some Zoom reviews. I'm not promising I'm going to always do this, but I am doing a Zoom review just to connect with students. I'm looking for positive ways to connect with students. I'm a teaching professor, which means I get paid less than a high school teacher, but I enjoy teaching. And this has become a joyful thing for me to do, to not be the person that's writing the test and just be someone trying to help you. If this becomes as popular as I think it will be, I'm hoping I can bring other people in on this, and maybe we can sort of regularly do reviews. And maybe if it's really popular, I can convince the department to pay for things like this, because it really would be nice as a little way to connect with our students, again, in a positive way. We want the teaching professors for sure, and I know most of the tenure professors want to help you do well in these courses, and I think this is a way we can show you. And I'm just pleased to get to be the first to try this out, this experiment of mine. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for it. Okay, beyond that, the couple main things that you need to know are Chapter 14. Chapter 14 is surfaces. To me, that feels a lot like Calculus 1. So we do things like partial derivatives, using it to find a tangent plane. That should sound a lot like tangent lines. Those questions shouldn't bother us. I'll talk a little bit about how we can get those figured out. I'll talk about Clairaut's theorem and how you can use that to check your work. I was just talking to a student in office hours, and they were saying, oh, that's really helpful. So I think I'm going to emphasize that a little more here. Then we have the second derivative test to figure out if critical points are max and min. So there's little bits of algebra. What I like about this test compared to exam 1 in this course is if you know what you're doing, you should be able to write down a lot on every problem. Yeah, there's places to make mistakes, but it's, in my opinion, hard to leave things blank. Okay, we'll talk about absolute or global max and min. We'll do applied max and min, which I sort of think about as finding critical points. and I sort of mention a few key points. And you can always see these. Just go to my page. And then chapter 15 to me feels like Calculus 2. We find double integrals. Now there's some applications along the way, but pretty much I think of every problem in chapter 15 is the same. You have some surface, you have some region drawn on the ground, you have to describe that region, and that requires Math 125 skills. If students took my class, you should have those skills. If you remember them, that's a separate question. You use that description as the bounds of your integral. And we have basically 3 ways to do it. You can do it in terms of x, you can do it in terms of y, or you can do it in terms of theta, and that's the polar piece. And that's kind of new, but very useful. I'm not going to focus on center of mass here. Sometimes that's on exam 2, sometimes it's not. In the end, it's just these formulas. It's a chance to practice what we've been doing up above. So I think I will leave that for my final exam review. Now you can find resources on any of these on my page. So there's no replacement for making sure you know the homework and working old exams on your own. I just hope to give you some topic-specific guides for those that need it. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to do that here in just a second, and we'll see what happens. But I hope if this is helpful to you, please share my YouTube channel. My hope is to build my YouTube channel enough that I can start to show some of my research projects and fun things for students. So I think if you subscribe and are willing to occasionally have little updates of things I'm posting, mixed in there will be some what I think are interesting and fun visuals and things like that. So that's just a selfish thing that I would like to have more people to share fun things with, since day to day my days aren't always that fun. And I think hopefully in doing this you can enjoy learning with me. All right. See you in the next video.